Last week I caught up with Dr. Paddy Mallon, who is the one of the physicians of infectious diseases in Vincent. He's also a professor up in UCD. He's a man who knows what he's talking about, and I thought I would have a catch up with him because there's a lot of news out there, a lot of negativity, a lot of scary stuff, and sometimes it's nice to know the facts, but find some positive light in it all. You know, just to feel that light on your face. And I thought Paddy could maybe possibly be that person to give me that illumination. So I got in contact with him and had a little chat with him. This is that. Be positive and look after each other. Okay. How are you doing, sir?
Not too bad. Things are heating up here a bit. We're getting more cases coming in, but we've got a good structure in place now, so we've just got to run with it.
Tell me this. You're in charge of what there, Paddy? What are you dealing with?
So we've got a thing called a COVID stream in the hospital. So we've split the hospital in two, and we've got the normal hospital sitting working in the background. It's working at a sort of reduced capacity, so there's no outpatient clinics, and a lot of the non-urgent surgeries being cancelled. And then we've got a whole other stream of the hospital called the COVID stream, and it's only for patients that are coming to hospital with suspected COVID. So it's like a hospital within a hospital that we've set up.
And then all the hospitals you're in Vincent, is that right? So, so all the hospitals are working together in conjunction with each other, I presume, are they?
They are. The important thing here is that you've got to make sure that your own hospital is right. So every hospital is sharing information. And for example, I'm on a group amongst the infectious diseases physicians. So all the infectious disease physicians around the country were keeping in really close contact, like constant contact, and we're sharing documents and ideas as we need to. And if someone comes up with a good idea, you implement it.
Because I saw someone bragging about one of the kits now for testing. The Irish came up with a kit that tests in 15 minutes. We're only off booze 2 days. Sure, we could take over the world now at this rate.
There's a lot of innovation going on, and like a lot of people are thinking outside the box. It's that sort of concept. There's no rules,
Yeah,
and you've just got to go with what you need to do, and as you need to do it, and get it in place as fast as you can. And
as
it's a
far
completely different way of working, and the hospital management here have bought into that, and it's
that's
keeping us
brilliant.
ahead of the game.
That curve. So you can't really tell where we are with that curve at the moment, can you? Because you're just seeing it rise, or it's going to be like that for a while, right?
Going to be like that for a while. And do you remember in the last video we were talking about this, like the curve where it starts to make sense is when we say, okay, this is the start of the 2 weeks. Do you remember we said that if we get everything right in place, then you look for sort of 2 weeks from that point, and you'd hope at the 2 week mark you start to see the curve flattening out, so that the rise will get slower and slower and slower. And I think we're almost at the start of that 2 week process, because you look around at what's happening, and I got a sense that Paddy's Day was the first day that I walked out of the hospital, and I got a sense that right, everyone's buying into this. The buses were empty, there were hardly any cars. You could see social distancing, and since that, when I come out at work at night, the place is still like a ghost town, and you hear stories of shops taking their own initiative and putting social distancing. Everyone is really keen to get on top of this. So I think we're at that stage where we're at the start of that 2 weeks, and we just gotta hope that what we're doing is enough. If we don't get this right, it's potentially the biggest disaster that will have hit this country since it was founded. But if we do get it right, it's got the potential to be the biggest societal success that we've ever done. So either way, it's in our hands to make this a success or a failure.
I think there's a lot of people at home now, and whether it's out of fear or just being extra careful, like a lot of mums and dads walking around with like thermometers and getting anxious and getting a bit freaked out every time they feel they've got a cough. Or is it right to be that at that level of, I suppose, anxiety with it all?
I mean, I think it's natural, right? I mean, everyone is going to be concerned, and what feeds fear is two things. The first is lack of knowledge, and the second thing is uncertainty. And the uncertainty bit we really can't take away. It would be, I can sort of give you an opinion of where I think we are, but it's an opinion. I can't say anything with any level of certainty.
I understand.
But the knowledge bit is something that can take your fear away because knowledge enables people to take action.
So what do
And
we know at the moment then, Paddy?
well, we know that this virus can't spread if you're not in close contact with someone or you're not in close contact with a surface that's carrying the virus. That's incredibly powerful. And if you can, if you do nothing, okay, then one person has the ability to spread this virus to three other people. Okay, and that probably happens in a 5 day period. In a 30-day period, you can imagine the number of people that end up getting infected from that one person doing nothing if nobody does anything. If you reduce the contact by 50%, that big group at the end, the big group that end up getting infected, reduces dramatically. If you can reduce contact by 75%, so just say for every one person, they only end up infecting one other person rather than three other people. By 30 days, you've only really developed a handful of infections, and that's really easy to manage.
I suppose there's a lot of people, and we're kind of scratching our heads because we feel like we're in lockdown, but we're not in lockdown. Like in my house, we feel like Tanya's running this place. Like, do you know what I mean? If we go for a walk and someone touches a lamppost, like we're having a big family feud in the middle of Rathmines. Like, even to go for walks now is becoming quite stressful a little bit. Like, she's probably right though to a certain extent, right?
The more anal people are, the more type A they are, the happier I am. And you're right, you do need to get out and about, but being extra careful, like, there's nothing wrong with being extra careful. I would much rather people were extra careful rather than people just not
Being
caring.
lackadaisy with it, yeah.
It's the relaxing. See if they relax. That's our danger. That's our real danger. There's no space for it at the minute.
Why aren't we on lockdown, Paddy? Why aren't we? Are we just waiting for people to get back from different countries, Spain and whatever, and get everyone home? Is that kind of?
I think so. The country needs we've got the ability to learn about this, and the thing about a lockdown is once you put a country on lockdown, your ability to your ability to evolve in a crisis is really limited. So it can have impacts on supply chains, it can have impacts on essential work. So you really want to avoid snapping everything shut in society at one go. So I think what we're doing at the minute, I think, is working, but we may need more. We've just got to see how the numbers develop. We may need more. One of the big things that is going to be critical over the next 3 to 4 days, Baz, right, is it's the nursing home piece and elderly people. So at the moment, the data are showing that most people are younger that are being diagnosed, or not most people, but like over a third of them are young people. I don't mind that because I'd much rather that than see, say, 2/3 of people that are being infected being over the age of 65, because that's going to flood the health system.
But they have to be social distancing from the elderly generation.
I mean, no, but not only social distancing. See, if you're diagnosed with this or you have symptoms of this, you have got to isolate. You are on lockdown.
Yeah.
Right? So what we need to do at the minute is lock down the cases, stop the spread, and at the same time, we need to really protect the older people in our families, but also we really need to protect our nursing homes, because if this virus gets into a nursing home, you get a lot of infected cases, a lot of very sick people very quickly. That's not a good news. The next couple of days, we all need to be super careful with our elderly people and vulnerable people and people in nursing homes. If we can avoid this virus getting in there in the next 3 or 4 days. That'll be a real success. We're in charge of our own destiny. Let the rest of the world, they all need to sort themselves out. And I don't mean to be flippant about that, but you're right. It's a bit on the news. It is all grim. And I don't think that helps any. We just got to need to focus and really take the battle to this virus, take the social distancing and the hand washing and everything seriously, really seriously. And we did it. I think we did it just at the right time.
Like, I think we all kind of feel that. We all kind of feel like, oh, we've done it well. It's just, I suppose people are itchy, so they're like, why aren't we on lockdown? Everyone else seems to be on lockdown. But when you illustrate it there, that there's a way of doing it, it does make sense that, look, we're doing it as we need to do it, because once we're on lockdown, it's a game changer again, isn't it? Things get that little bit tougher.
They do, and it may come to that. Like I think we're doing what we can now. It may come to having to go down on a full lockdown, but people should just prepare themselves. Okay, they just. But I can't see it happening overnight. I think what'll happen is even Italy sort of brought it in gradually. When I say gradually, over a number of days, a lot of countries are taking that approach. So I don't get a sense that the government strategy is that they're just going to wake up tomorrow and decide to lock down the country. But start to see this going out of control, then they're the sort of measures that they take bit by bit to try and really target measures to try and keep a lid on this.
How's the healthcare system coping? How are you doing in the hospitals? Are you just running around in circles, or is there a sense of control and are you not overwhelmed yet?
We're definitely in control.
Or you've been overwhelmed for ages. I don't know which.
No, I mean, so there's the planning piece has been massive, and the implementation piece has been massive, and where we're at the minute, I can only tell you where we're at the minute. Where we're at the minute, where I think we're good for at least another few days, right? And that's all I can say, because I'm not I can't get the crystal ball out. But
that's crazy, though, Paddy, isn't it? That you're judging things literally like day by day, like you can't plan anything past that.
Every night that I would leave here, every night I go home, I like to go home feeling that okay, we're good for another 48 hours, and if I can keep saying that, then I'm happy, because 48 hours is a long time for this, but we've got a lot of capacity. Okay, I'm not saying we don't have endless capacity, but for where we're at the minute, for people sitting at home, if they're worried, the capacity's here, and we continue just to move on it. But we're moving and we're innovating every day.
I know how busy you are, and I know you run off your feet. If there was any kind of positives you take at the moment, what would you tell people they are?
Big positive to me is leaving work every night and just seeing the empty streets, seeing the empty buses. That to me makes everything that we're doing worthwhile.
Well, listen, you keep flying the flag, man, and I'll chat to you soon. Yeah.
Cheers, Baz.
Thanks, Dr. Paddy. Take care. Bye, sir. Bye.